Welcome to today's video. Today we are talking about lightning lanes. Lightning Lane is the skip the line service at Walt Disney World. Today we are talking about its three current tiers: Lightning Lane Multi-Pass, Lightning Lane Single Pass, and Lightning Lane Premier Pass. For our main two types of Lightning Lanes, Lightning Lane Single Pass and Lightning Lane Multi-Pass, if you are staying at a resort, you can book your Lightning Lanes up to 7 days in advance. If you are a regular park guest, you can book your Lightning Lanes up to 3 days in advance, and that is at 7 a.m. Lightning Lane Multi-Pass is going to be where most of the Lightning Lanes will be. There are two different tiers, Tier 1 and Tier 2. Tier 1 attractions are going to be your more popular attractions like Space Mountain, Big Thunder Mountain, Tiana's Bayou Adventure, Jungle Cruise, and some of the other parks are Rock and Roller Coaster starring the Muppets, Slinky Dog Dash, and etc. Tier 2 is going to be your less popular rides but are just as good: Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin, Soarin' Across America, and much more. So Lightning Lane Multi-Pass is a system where you book 3 Lightning Lanes, 1 Tier 1 attractions, 2 Tier 2 attractions at 7 a.m. either 7 days in advance or 3 days in advance. And basically, as soon as you scan in one, you can book another. Lightning Lane Multi-Pass does not include all of the rides. The rest of the rides will be under the category of Single Pass. Lightning Lane Multi-Pass, typically the price ranges from about $19 to $35 depending on the day, and that is per day per person. It is not per park. So Lightning Lane Multi-Pass, you pay the one time for, say, that one day, book those Lightning Lanes at 7 a.m. in advance, and then you scan into one, book another one, and that's how that system is used. One thing to note about Multi-Pass is that you're not guaranteed to get your Lightning Lanes, and those Tier 1 attractions like Rock and Roller Coaster, Test Track, those will sell out very, very quickly. So you gotta make sure you are ready at 7 a.m. to get them. If you don't know how to book, you go into the My Disney Experience app, and you're gonna see this thing say Lightning Lanes. You're gonna hit book, you're gonna hit buy, and then you're gonna say for what day, what park, make sure you have those park reservations, and then you're gonna purchase it. You're gonna select 1 Tier 1 attraction and 2 Tier 2 attractions. For booking at 7 a.m. in advance, you can only book the Lightning Lanes in the same park. So say I want to book Test Track, but then I want Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin and Pirates of the Caribbean. I can't do that. I need to book all 3 of my Lightning Lanes in Epcot first. Once I scan in to my first Lightning Lane, then I can start booking more Lightning Lanes and in different parks. Now, our second type of Lightning Lane is Lightning Lane Single Pass. Lightning Lane Single Pass, you can also book 7 days in advance or 3 days depending if you are a resort guest or a regular park guest. You will book these at 7 a.m. as well. It is separate from Lightning Lane Multi-Pass, so you will buy it separately, and it ranges from about $15 to $35 depending on how busy it is and what time of the year it is. Now, our second type of Lightning Lane is Lightning Lane Single Pass. Lightning Lane Single Pass, you can also book 7 days in advance or 3 days depending if you are a resort guest or a regular park guest. You will book these at 7 a.m. as well. It is separate from Lightning Lane Multi-Pass, so you will buy it separately, and it ranges from about $15 to $35 depending on how busy it is and what time of the year it is. Lightning Lane Single Pass offers the very most popular attractions, and that is Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, Rise of the Resistance, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, and Tron Light Cycle Run, and also Flight of Passage at Animal Kingdom. One thing about Lightning Lane Single Pass is that when you buy it, you are not good for all of those attractions. You need to buy the Single Pass per attraction per person. So say I want to do 2 of those rides, Flight of Passage and Guardians of the Galaxy, because you can only book 2 per day. I would be paying the price from anywhere $19 to $35 or $15 to $35 depending on the time of year, I would be paying that twice, and that's just for me. Now, you're probably like, I don't think that's worth it. These rides are super good. The rides are definitely worth it. But I've seen Guardians, Rise of Resistance, all of those rides get up to more than 3-hour waits. And I love those rides, but it almost seems like a waste of almost half of your park day, which is crazy. So these lightning lanes do come in useful. So sometimes, like, if you don't go to Disney a lot, it might be good to splurge that little extra bit so you get the most out of your day. Single pass, once you have everything booked, it runs so smoothly, and if there's any problems, guest services are always available to help. One thing to know about Lightning Lane Multipass and Lightning Lane Single Pass, especially Lightning Lane Single Pass, is that if you miss your reservation, your time window, because of kind of poor planning, there's no refund. Now, say someone, because this happened to me, 2 people in my party weren't feeling well, so I took their magic band and so did my uncle, and we tried to go on Guardians again. They said, sorry, you can't do that. Only the people that didn't go yet can go. And we were like, well, they weren't feeling good and we didn't want to waste the money. And they're like, oh, okay, but sadly you can only go once per day with the Lightning Lane, so we will refund you. That's pretty much the only time that they will refund you. But if there's 2 people just because, didn't make it on time, they won't refund you. So it is very important that with any of your Lightning Lanes and reservations for dining, that you make sure there's a big grace period in between, because you could always get stuck on a ride. Lightning Lane could get backed up because Lightning Lane promise you less than half of the wait for the regular line, but say a line is 2 hours, you're still expected to wait almost an hour. So make sure to give yourself those grace periods in between each Lightning Lane and your dining reservations. And with that being said, that brings me to my last form of Lightning Lane, which is Lightning Lane Premier Pass. Lightning Lane Premier Pass is very expensive, ranging from $145 to $499 per person per park, not per day. So say you're going to 3 parks in one day, you're paying that price 3 times for one person, which is crazy. But what's nice about Lightning Lane Premier Pass is that you're not always looking on your phone when booking Lightning Lanes. Sadly, one thing with these Lightning Lane systems is you're always looking at your phone at Disney World. With Lightning Lane Premier Pass, anytime you can go on any ride and you just scan in and go. One thing to note is that you can only ride each ride once, so you can't just keep going on Guardians. That would be wonderful if we could, but sadly you can't. So if you want that experience of maybe getting every single ride done in Disney World in one day, or you don't want to be on your phone all day, or for some of your day, this might be the plan for you. Once again, it is very expensive, but sometimes it makes the trip a little more magical. So going back to what I said about going at any time to any ride, say it's like 8:30 a.m. and I'm like, I want to ride Flight of Passage. I can. Now you're like, wait a minute, that's a single pass attraction. But Lightning Lane Premier Pass, tiers don't matter. You don't have to book anything. Teacups, Mad Tea, I want to go on it, boom, scan in. Jungle Cruise, want to go on it, boom, scan in. Tron, want to go on it, boom, scan in. You don't have to book any times, and the tiers don't matter. So Lightning Lane Single Pass, how there's different attractions that are just for Single Pass, and the different tiers for Lightning Lane Multipass, doesn't matter. Any ride, scan into it, get ready to go, have fun, wonderful. And that is why Disney was like, let's come out with this plan. It makes it a lot easier for people, and they're not staring at their phones as much. So with concluding this video, there are lots and lots of different forms of Lightning Lanes, and I hope you find the best version for you. If you want, leave a comment down below to maybe say if you want different parks and I go test some Lightning Lane loopholes, which there's going to be a little side note at the end of this video about a lightning lane loophole, and comment down below if you want a whole video on that, because you know I will do that. Please stay tuned for more information, because there is a lot of opening dates and upcoming events, especially on May 26th, so stay tuned for that. Thank you so much, and thank you for watching Castle to Coaster. Don't forget to subscribe. Keep it magical. Now this is the clip I was talking about with the special loophole, but first, you gotta subscribe. So basically, you're probably like, a loophole about lightning lanes? What? So yes, there's actually a loophole with lightning lanes that have been tested by many, many people. And something interesting is that if you miss your time window, so say I have a lightning lane on Space Mountain from 10:30 to 11:30 a.m., I have a 2-hour grace period after that. People are like, I thought it was just 15. They'll actually hold it up to 2 hours. But what is cool is, say at 11:30, I haven't scanned in, I can book another lightning lane and I'll still have my Space Mountain lightning lane. So 12:30, I'm going on Space Mountain, I already have 3 lightning lanes booked. And then I scanned in, I can book another one. So if you want more details on this loophole, go check out my new video on the lightning lane loopholes that will be coming out in a few days, and I hope that helps you. One thing to do is set a ton of alarms. That's my key tip for now. You'll have to wait till the next video to find out all of the secrets and all of the tips for this loophole. Thank you so much.